everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with another news video. Check out the news video from earlier on today if you want to catch up with all of those headlines, but we've got a new batch of headlines to talk about in this second news video, so without any further ado, let's get straight into them now. First of all, AEW have confirmed a major signing. Next up, a big title match has been confirmed for tonight's episode of NXT. And finally, a big WWE Superstar has revealed that they have Hollywood aspirations. So first of all, let's talk about this major AEW signing. A person that a lot of people assumed AEW had already signed, but that wasn't the case. And the company has now since officially confirmed that they have indeed officially signed this wrestler. I think I said the word officially a lot there. So yes, AEW have confirmed that they have officially signed Matt Sydal. Sydal obviously made his debut for the company at Double or Nothing this year when he came out as the Joker in the Casino Battle Royale, and it didn't get off to the best start. Obviously, he went up to do the shooting star press, slipped, and was lucky to avoid serious injury. That was very unfortunate. But since then, things seem to have gone pretty much without a hitch. He's been losing most of his matches. He was competing mainly on AEW Dark, but also has worked matches on Dynamite, losing to the likes of Eddie Kingston and most recently Brian Cage. And I understand the way that AEW are using Sydal here, a recognisable name. Lots of people will know him from his run in WWE as Evan Bourne primarily, and you know, whenever somebody comes in and loses to a home sort of AEW wrestler, it helps if they're a recognised name. So no doubt beating Matt Sydal will have had more impact for somebody like Brian Cage and Eddie Kingston than if they'd beaten, you know, just another member of the AEW roster, perhaps already lower on the pecking order than they themselves are. But now that he's signed, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Matt Sydal. Will he get a more substantial storyline to get his teeth into now that he is officially an AEW wrestler? Obviously, he has loads of experience when it comes to high-flying wrestling and that sort of thing. Also, a lot of tag team experience. He's a former WWE Tag Team Champion alongside Kofi Kingston, for example. So yeah, there's a lot of different directions AEW can go in. With regards to Matt Sydal, it'll just be interesting to see which one they choose. And obviously as well, you have to look at what could go on behind the scenes. Could Matt Sydal be a really good voice in the ear of various younger high-flying wrestlers or less experienced high flyers on the roster, perhaps, you know, lending his experience to them and generally improving the quality across the board. I don't know if he will be in some kind of mentorship role or whether he's there just to be, you know, a wrestler and go out and wow us all with his agility and his aerial ability, but it'll be interesting to see what happens for certain. Next up, let's talk about that title match that is set for tonight's episode of NXT, and it revolves around the North American title. As per WWE.com, they have said Leon Ruff shocked the world and Johnny Gargano last week. Can he catch lightning in a bottle again and hold on to the NXT North American Championship? So the match tonight is Leon Ruff, the champion, defending against the man he took the belt from, Johnny Gargano. Obviously, there's a bit of background to this to explain. If you've missed the past week or so of NXT results, you might be thinking, what on earth's happened there? Who's Leon Ruff? Why is he... How has this happened? Well, basically, Johnny Gargano was using the wheel of challengers to determine who he was going to face. He rigged the wheel so that it landed on Leon Ruff, the newest and least experienced, I think, of all the challengers on the wheel, and then Ruff managed to shockingly beat him, with an assist, admittedly, from Damian Priest, who was distracting Gargano from the outside. Priest then lent Leon Ruff his car, and Ruff sped off into the night with the title as Gargano came looking for revenge. He got into a brawl with Priest backstage, and that whole storyline is set to continue this week. Will Priest get involved again? I'm probably guessing he will, but I can't predict the result at all. That's because we don't know if this title run is going to be used to build up Leon Ruff, you know, as an underdog champion who lasts quite a while and gets one over on people who are theoretically stronger than him for quite some weeks, or whether this is just like a one-week angle and the title will revert back to Johnny Gargano. Whichever way it goes, I think it's an interesting one. We don't often see in NXT, really, inexperienced or I guess lesser viewed wrestlers in terms of star power win titles. It's quite a rarity in NXT when it's all about, you know, rewarding the best workers, the best in terms of, you know, getting the crowd to emote. And I think that really it was quite a bold booking decision to have the title change away from Gargano onto Leon Ruff. I think it was a good one though. I did enjoy it for the shock value purely, and it'll be nice to see where Leon Ruff goes from here, whether or not he survives tonight's episode with his title reign intact. And WWE have previewed the match like this. Gargano gets his chance to regain the championship gold. This is again from WWE.com. Will he become a 3-time North American champion, or does Ruff simply have Gargano's number? We shall find out tonight on NXT. Next up, let's go to an exclusive from eWrestlingNews.com, and they are talking about the Thunderdome and the Amway Center, and whether the Thunderdome is going to stay at the Amway Center or whether it's going to move. And they've discovered that it looks like it's going to move in the near future. So eWrestlingNews.com have again exclusively learned that WWE will be moving their Thunderdome production from the Amway Center to, I mean, it's still in Florida, but to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is the home of the Tampa Bay Rays baseball team. Tropicana Field, just some facts on the stadium here, opened in 1990 and was originally known as the Florida Suncoast Dome, the Florida Suncoast Dome, lovely, and became the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning in 1993, where it was renamed, you'll never guess this, the Thunderdome. Tampa Bay Lightning, Thunderdome, Thunder and Lightning. I see what they were going for there. But nowadays it is a baseball stadium, although it does occasionally host minor league hockey games as well. And the NBA season is set to begin on December 22nd, so the Orlando Magic kind of needs to move back into the Amway Center, which could be a big reason why WWE are moving out. So we knew already that WWE had a deal with the Amway Center that was scheduled to last until the end of November, and it appears like the move to Tropicana Field will take place in early December. So that all kind of fits the whole schedule. It fits, they'll be out of there plenty of time to spare for the Orlando Magic to move in and everything like that. It all seems to be working fairly smoothly. And what about the Tampa Bay Rays? Well, with baseball not coming back, or with the MLB season not starting again until April, that theoretically gives WWE a home all the way up until WrestleMania 37. Now you might be thinking, hang on there, Tropicana Field, baseball stadium, doesn't that have an open air kind of feel? Won't that be difficult if, for example, it rains? How are they going to be able to hold wrestling in the middle of that stadium? Don't worry, I've done a bit of research. Tropicana Field apparently has a non-retractable roof. It does have a roof structure, so there we go, that should be problem solved in theory. Now, of course, we don't know what the situation will be like by the time April rolls around, whether WWE will have to stay in this stadium until WrestleMania and then look for somewhere new. But at the same time, I think it's probably fair to say that we just don't know what situation the world will be in come April. So maybe they'll be able to go on the road again, maybe things will open again. I don't really know, but at least they're making plans, so they've got something in place going forwards. Next up, a certain WWE superstar has revealed that they have Hollywood aspirations, and it's somebody that might not be too surprising for fans of The Mandalorian, which recently, of course, featured an appearance by Sasha Banks. So following this appearance in The Mandalorian, Sasha Banks responded to a question from USA Today about whether or not she wants to do more filming, more TV acting, that sort of thing, and she responded by saying this: absolutely, I have so many goals and so many things that I would love to do in Hollywood, and so many things that I would love to do outside of WWE that I am making possible. So keep on watching in 2021, I'm going to keep on killing it and crush all my dreams. I think she means crush all, as in crush all of her objectives, not literally crush her own dreams. That would be a bit self-destructive. And you know what? Fair play to Sasha. Appearing in The Mandalorian, that's obviously a very high-profile role. It took a lot of people by surprise. A lot of the wrestling community were absolutely delighted for Sasha Banks, and surely that can only be regarded as a foot in the door. Now, hopefully, more casting places will be looking at Sasha Banks as a possible, candidate to fill various roles here and there. So, can't really argue with it. Sasha's got Hollywood aspirations, and why wouldn't she, given the success she has met so far? And while we're on the subject of WWE superstars appearing outside of the wrestling bubble, we have to give a shout out as well to all three members of the New Day, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston and Big E, because Woods recently revealed on his own Twitter that they will be appearing in the new Gears of War game, Gears 5. Woods said on Twitter, after playing Gears of War for years, brackets, and reading the books, embarrassed emoji, I'm happy to announce that myself, Kofi and Big E somehow convinced them to make us playable DLC characters in Gears 5 at Xbox. Bit of promotion there. If you thought getting popped by Nash's got on your nerves, wait until it's us doing it. I've never played Gears, but I don't know what that means. But there was some very nice concept art that Woods shared as well. It all looks very exciting for the boys. Congratulations to them. We all know, of course, that Woods in particular is a huge video game nerd, and he loves various different things involving nerd culture, doesn't he? Clearly, he's made it obvious there on his tweet that he is a big fan of the Gears franchise. And now it seems like a bit of a dream has come true. He will be appearing alongside his boys in Gears 5 as DLC, so download them if you want to play as, you know, the lads from the wrestling in the Gears. I should really know more about Gears of War. And that's it for today's news video. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. Leave your thoughts and opinions on all of these stories. Teach me a bit about the Gears of War lore in the comments down below, and stay safe out there, of course. Stay positive, and I'll see you very soon.